Hello, 7th graders. This is your homework help video for lesson 7 in module 3, topic B. Number 1 here, sketch a pair of angles that are complementary. Basically, what you need to do for this one is the angles need to add to 90 degrees. Basically, all these notes today, if you go to page 81, it's going to help you the most. So I'm going to say, when in doubt, go to page 81. Those are the notes I gave you today. So let's go ahead and dive into these problems. In the diagram, CAB is a straight angle. That means the measure of CAB is 180. So the angle equation for this one here, so it's going to be angle CDA plus angle DAB equals 180 degrees. And from there, you can plug these values in, put them in the blanks here, and then you're just going to go ahead and solve those equations. Don't worry about checking your solution. The relationship between these angles, very important. Again, go to page 81. It's going to help you determine which one's going to be the most helpful. Kind of gave it away there for you. Next one, consider the diagram. Make sure you make those consideration noises. Just a little joke. What relationship's going to help us? My hint to you is take a look at that angle. And when angles add up to 90 degrees, what relationship's going to help you out? Again, don't worry about checking your solution. Write an equation. You don't need to write the angle equation per se, but I do want to see you're writing something that equals whatever the angle measurement is, which I'll give you a hint here. It's going to equal 90. So from there, if you go ahead, look at the lesson notes that we took, that's going to help you the most as well. That's going to be the most helpful. This video won't be, I would say, the most helpful thing. Looking at the notes you took is going to be the most helpful. Alrighty, number 4. Okay, so no pictures. So A and B are complementary. So complementary angles, those add to 90 degrees. And I like to just draw a diagram right away. So 90 degrees. The measure of angle A is 67. So it looks like we don't know B, and that's going to be our variable X. So I'm just going to draw a random angle. We'll call this top one 67 this time, and then this one's going to be X. So that tells me that when I add those two angles together, it's going to equal 90 degrees. And so you'll have to write that equation. And number 5, linear pair. I told you in class what linear pairs were. Linear pairs add to 180 degrees. So it looks like we're looking at A and B again. We know what angle A is. It looks like it's 32 degrees. I'll draw my diagram. So we'll draw a random angle here. So let's see, this one's 32 degrees. It looks like we don't know this one, so it's going to be our variable. Again, I want you to write that equation, equals 180, and then you need to decide how to add those angles together and solve for the unknown measure. Now, I know some of you are probably thinking, Mr. Sykes, I can do this in my head. I don't need to show the work, but if you practice now, in the future, when you can't do it in your head, you're going to be able to rely on the skills that you're building now. Alrighty, number 6, consider the diagram. Awesome. So the relationship, very important. The hint to you is this little box right there. And also if you look on page 81, this is just combined like terms. We've done this multiple times. I'm not going to give anything away here too much, but I will say it's going to be X plus X plus X equals something. And my hint to you is to combine those like terms. So you should have 3x equals something. That's my hint to you. Don't worry about part C. But again, I really want you to write that equation. Let's see. So that's it for number 6. And finally, number 7. Yep, last problem. CAB is a straight angle. That means its measure is 180 degrees. This is probably the hardest problem on here. Again, describe the relationship. My hint to you, it is related to straight angles. On page 81 again. Always refer to those notes. So again, what I would do is I would add up all these angle measurements and set them equal to something. And I'll give you a hint. That's the something. So equals 180. Show your work. Don't worry about part C. But for part D, very important, you need to find the measure of FAD, CAF, and also DAC. So just solving for X isn't enough. You need to find the angle measurements. So I would write this on your paper. Angle FAD equals what? Angle CAF equals what? And then angle DAC equals something. So my hint to you on this one, solve for X, and then plug in that value once you solve for it into the diagram. So that's it for